Yo, yo, yo. What up? Just wanted to update people on what happened with my Facebook page and what's going on in the world right now. So, as many people know, my Facebook page was deleted yesterday. I logged in around 4:30 to find that no explanation, it had just been removed. Now, I went and read the press release that Facebook put out that day, and they said that they were deleting thousands of pages for groups and individuals who are linked to whether it's QAnon, right wing militias, anarchists, or anti fascism. So I'm a proud anarchist, proud supporter of the movement and all forms of struggle, whether it's Black Lives Matter, land defenders, water protectors, anarchists, rent strikers, mutual aid. I'm here for all that. Um, and I haven't broken any laws. I have not called for acts of violence. I have not, I'm actually a pretty, despite, how agitated my music sounds, I'm actually, pretty mellow. Not, you know, not really into punching people in the face and shit. But I don't cry when a Nazi gets punched, that's for sure. Anyway, when you lump all these people together to people who don't know the difference, they're like, oh, great, all these extremists. But there's a huge difference between a neo-Nazi, a QAnon conspiracist, and an anarchist who's running a mutual aid project or making podcasts. Huge difference there. And this whole thing of glorifying violence, being connected to groups that glorify violence, as they put it. But, I looked online. The army is still allowed to post on Facebook. Donald Trump can still post on Facebook. I mean, those are the two most violent things in this country. Then you have the cops. They're still allowed on Facebook. So, what's violence, Maybe they saw that I didn't cry when the 3rd precinct in Minneapolis burned to the ground. Guess what? When that happened, that precinct burning to the ground was more popular than Joseph Biden's candidacy for president of the United States. So most of the country thinks that the problem with policing in this country has gone way too far, aside from our violent empire, and people support radical resistance. So what is Facebook doing? They're trying to disrupt social movements. We are currently in a pandemic, living in a failed state. There's nothing more violent than the president's negligence leading to, according to, well-researched speculation, by the time of the election, there's probably going to be 200,000 unnecessary deaths in the United States. That is the most violent thing I've experienced in my life. And in the midst of that, they're cutting unemployment benefits, even though the economy has essentially ceased to function. They're cutting unemployment benefits at the same time when something like a third or a quarter of all people in the country, maybe more, can't even afford to pay mortgage or rent. And now those people are going to be out on the streets. What is more violent than kicking a family out of their home? I mean, so this is what's so funny about violence. Violence, I'm not a big fan of Slavoj Žižek anymore, but his book on violence I thought was dead on. There's many kinds of violence. But self-defense, calling self-defense violence, calling people who are oppressed, who are fighting back against injustices, that's not violence. So if you want to support my work, if you ever want to hear from me again, sign up for my newsletter on soul1.org. You can, or just download an album on Bandcamp, a free album, or sign up to my Patreon. And if you want to support all the anarchists and anti-fascists who've been kicked off this platform over the past 24 hours, you can go to crimethink.com and download their graphic which says you stand in solidarity and share their statement. This is a rapidly unfolding situation. There's going to be a lot more information to come. I just want to explain to people.